0%. It's the ultimate headline, right? The promise of a 0% personal income tax is absolutely the #1 thing drawing professionals from all over the world to the UAE. And while that structural advantage is entirely real, taking home 100% of your paycheck is really only half the story. So today we're going to explore the grounded, everyday reality of what life actually costs in Dubai once that tax-free salary hits your bank account.
Welcome to This Explainer. I'm super excited to be your guide today as we demystify the logistics of relocating to and actually thriving in this incredible city. Whether you're weighing a job offer, planning a huge family move, or you're just kind of curious about how this city really operates in 2026, we're going to look at the hard numbers, the essential systems, and the true insider strategies you absolutely need to know.
All right, let's jump straight into our roadmap. We'll be walking through 4 key steps. 1. Securing your residence visa. 2. The real cost of living. 3. Choosing your perfect community. And 4. Navigating Dubai's public transport. Part 1. Securing your residence visa, the legal foundation. Look, this is the absolute bedrock of your life here. You simply cannot open a bank account, sign a lease, or get a driver's license without it.
Now, a really common misconception is that your entry permit is your visa. Actually, scratch that. The entry permit just gets you through the airport. Once you arrive, you enter a pretty rigid 4-stage process. After that entry permit, you've got to pass a medical fitness test, register your biometrics for your Emirates ID, and then finally get your visa officially stamped. End to end, this whole in-country process usually takes 2 to 3 weeks, and it's going to cost anywhere from 3,000 to 15,000 dirhams, completely depending on your specific visa category. And this number brilliantly illustrates just how strict the system is. Once your residence visa expires, you get a 60-day grace period. But the second you cross that line, you are hit with a flat 50 dirham daily fine for overstaying. There's no wiggle room. Don't mess with the system, or it'll definitely mess with your wallet. The rules here are crystal clear, and they are strictly enforced. Moving right along to Section 2, the real cost of living, beyond the zero tax myth. Because as we know, zero tax definitely does not mean zero expenses, so we need to look at the hard numbers to plan this out properly. Here is a massive trap for newcomers, confusing the government's legal minimums with a realistic, livable budget. So the UAE requires a minimum salary of just 4,000 dirhams a month for a male to sponsor a spouse's visa. But guys, that is literally just a legal eligibility threshold. The reality of what a single person actually needs for their own one-bedroom apartment, a few nice meals out, and a genuinely comfortable life, it sits way higher. Typically, you're looking at between 15,000 and 18,000 dirhams a month. And the crucial takeaway here is that a family's budget completely shifts brackets. While a comfortable single person is spending up to 18,000 dirhams, a comfortable family of 4 jumps all the way to between 28,000 and 38,000 dirhams a month. So why the massive leap? Well, it's not just a few extra groceries. The gap is primarily driven by the incredibly heavy costs of private schooling. International primary schools here can easily run anywhere from 38,000 to 110,000 dirhams per child every single year. Beyond the schools, there are some pretty intense hidden cash flow realities you've got to prepare for. For instance, rent in Dubai isn't typically paid monthly like you might be used to. Landlords normally demand 1 to 4 upfront post-dated checks covering the entire year. Writing a check for a full year's rent on day 1 is a huge cash flow shock, so you have to be ready for it. Then there's DIWA, your water and electricity, which includes heavy AC usage and usually runs 500 to 1,500 dirhams a month. But hey, here are a few insider strategies. If rent is just too high, a lot of professionals choose to live in neighboring Sharjah or Ajman and just commute in. And for everyday expenses, swapping those premium supermarkets for budget chains like Viva or Nesto can literally slash your grocery bill by 20 to 30%, and you don't even have to change what you eat. Section 3. Choosing your perfect community, or simply where to call home. Your choice of housing basically dictates your entire budget and lifestyle here. So let's check out the top community contenders. If you've got the budget and you want a modern all-rounder where absolutely everything, like top GM schools and hospitals, is located right inside the community, Dubai Hills Estate is the benchmark right now, with villas starting around 5 million dirhams. But if you're leaning towards an established, classic neighborhood where kids play out in quiet streets and the service charges are significantly lower, Arabian Ranches is still the absolute gold standard for families. Now, if affordability is your absolute top priority, you have 2 fantastic, totally distinct options. Town Square gives you this highly walkable 15-minute city vibe packed with parks and cafes, and townhouses start around 1.8 million dirhams.
On the flip side, if you want maximum physical space for your money and you really don't mind a longer drive into the city, Damac Hills 2 offers these massive townhouses starting at just 1.2 million dirhams.
And honestly, the market is packed with great alternatives. Jumeirah Village Circle, or JVC, is basically the go-to for really accessible, central apartments, and it offers excellent rental yields. Talal Al Ghaf is incredible if you want an outdoor, lagoon-centric lifestyle. Dubai Creek Harbor offers a pedestrian-first, waterfront setting with massive long-term appreciation potential. And then there's Mirdif. It offers an older, quieter neighborhood feel with huge parks, though you do have to carefully check the freehold status before buying there.
Oh, and keep this exact number in your head, 2 million dirhams. If you are a long-term planner, buying property at or above this 2 million dirham valuation actually unlocks the highly coveted 10-year UAE Golden Visa, which completely transforms your residency security in the country. It's a real game changer.
All right, moving to Section 4, Navigating Dubai Public Transport, Moving Like a Local. Let's see how all this builds into your daily routine by mastering the city's super-efficient transit system.
To move around this city, you have to get familiar with the NOL card. It's an absolute must-have. It's a contactless smart card issued by the RTA, and frankly, without it, you simply cannot board the metro, the tram, or the vast majority of buses. The entire system is completely cashless and integrated.
And here's probably the best-kept financial secret in Dubai. 14 dirhams. That is the daily cap on the standard silver NOL card. Once you spend 14 dirhams, which by the way is less than $4 on any combination of standard transit in a single day, all your remaining rides until midnight are totally free. When you factor that in, commuting via public transit is massively cheaper than dealing with car loans, fuel, parking, and toll gates.
And the network itself is beautifully integrated. You've got the driverless metro serving as the main spine of the city, the tram looping all through the dense marina district, and this massive fleet of buses covering 82% of the urban area. They even have a really cool bus on demand feature. It's an app-based shared minibus that literally picks you up from your virtual corner. The honest truth is, if you live and work on the metro corridor, you truly might not even need a private vehicle.
Plus, the infrastructure is only getting better. Fast forward to September 2029, and the huge Metro Blue Line is launching, bringing 14 new stations to eastern and northeastern communities that currently don't have rail access. The RTA's explicit target is that by 2030, 90% of Dubai's population will live within walking distance of a transit station. That's huge. So, we've broken down the strict visa regulations, the real costs of living a comfortable life, the strategies behind picking your ideal neighborhood, and exactly how to navigate the city seamlessly. The ultimate question I want to leave you with today is this. Looking at all these hard numbers and the city's exciting infrastructural trajectory, does Dubai actually fit your 10-year plan? Take these insights, go run your own numbers, and really think about how this dynamic city aligns with your long-term life and financial goals. Thanks so much for joining me on this Explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.